Hello, welcome to Z Explains BG. I am Z. We're playing a 5-point match on a Backgammon hub against Peter Malkoff. Good match to my opponent. We'll try to play well. No promises though. And then afterwards we'll take a look at the computer analysis to see how I did. Okay, let's see if I can point on him. Well, I can make the 5. Leaves a shot, but you want to make your 5 here. 6s are a little duplicated. Like a lot of the 6s make good points on the other side of the board, but he played this well. All right, it kind of looks like this. I don't know what else. I guess I could play 6 to 5 instead of 24 to 23, but I don't like having 3 guys on the ace point, sort of stagnating back there. So that sort of seemed like a pretty big priority, getting the backman going. He's rolling well. Not as good as me so far, though. So I don't know about attacking on the ace here. It's pretty thin. Although he does have the blot in the outfield, so it's not crazy. So you can double the dances here. So I guess if I don't do that as this, he just enters. I don't have all that much. All right, it seems a little anti-thematic, but tactically it makes sense. I don't think I can double if he just enters 1. Seems like his position is like too good. Oh, actually, I don't know. Okay, so he just enters with an anchor. He's taking. Entered without an anchor. Probably, well, I don't know, definitely cubing though. Here we just enters 1. Attack's still a little thin, but I am cubing. Yeah, I don't know. All right, I think this is probably best cubeless because it gets that guy out of there. All right, so I don't think this is too good or anything. So, I mean, maybe it's a take, but I would let it go. Good. Yes, the 6-4 is interesting there. I'm not totally sure about it. So this is a good play with the 3-1. This is a good play with the 4-1. I think I should hit and maybe make the 3 like this. And then do not dance. Good. All right, that's 1. That's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, seems as good as anything. All right, don't dance, dum-dum. I mean, I assume he's hitting off the 20 here. Oh, he's going to hit off the 4. It doesn't quite seem right. You want to rip away that good slot, you know. All right, in for a penny. Could be an interesting game if he hits, if I make a 3rd anchor. A little unusual. Okay, that's a nice roll. Yeah, this is a good play, I think. Hitting another guy doesn't do that much for him. In fact, it could even help my back game timing, you know, if he sends too many men back. But for now, I'm gonna try to build up a good board. Maybe go forward. This looks maybe a little suspicious. No, this is a good play actually. All right, let's go a little nutso. It's good if I get missed. It's fine if I get hit, I think. He might not even hit me with some stuff. I don't know. Let's see if he wants to hit it. I'll hit them all. Okay. These are interesting plays, not making the hitting instead of making the 5. I'm not. I'd have to think about that one. Kind of seems like making the 5 is sort of the priority, but I don't know. Such an unusual position, you know. Seems like a good play. clear. I suppose he should clear his 9 here. Oh yeah, I don't know about this. Now he's clearing the 9. You can kind of do it. I mean, you can leave a blood on his 9 if you want it. It's not like I'm going to be hitting that. Yeah, maybe if I can hit and cover, I'll do it, but I'm not sure. But yeah, nothing wrong with this either. It's 8 to 7. Dare me to hit. See what he does here. I guess I'm hitting if he leaves a shot on the 8. It's not entirely clear because I'm not totally ready to contain yet. Well, let's see. Like, I don't know if I want to hit with a 4. Yeah, I would hit with a 6 here. But the dice made it sort of easy. Oh, I don't like this. I don't even know if I should be taking this now. The hell is this? I don't know. Is this not good enough or is this too good? This might be one or the other. All right, so let's see. I mean, I am going to vacate from the front, right? And then he's going to have bad aces forever. Could also give him bad 3s by vacating from the 23. Jesus, I don't know. A little tempted here because I'm hitting him quite often. All right, let's be sporting about it and take this, but not going to be shocked when it's like too good. Okay, so yeah, I got to give him bad aces. Can't really give him bad 3s yet. In fact, I probably don't want to give him bad 3s because it makes his aces better. Oh, it's a big miss. Wondering if I ever want to vacate the 23. Probably not for a while. Yeah, this is looking like maybe it was some big take, because say he makes the 4 point here, it still seems like you can argue it's a take, you know. Okay, so I think I get extra shots on aces if he does this, although I'm not sure. Say he rolls 6-1, instead of 20 shots, I'm getting let's see, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And maybe slightly less, actually. So let's try this. I don't want to give him bad 4s. Okay, 3s and 4s. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. But his take point on the recubes are raw 25. And I mostly kill his gammons by doubling. What's going on here? Someone's stuck. Okay, so let's see. He's got 6 off, but he's got the gabs and he might expose another checker. Yeah, maybe I gotta wait until I get a shot at the guy. To be able to lose my market pretty big. I don't know though. I might be missing something here. Yeah, maybe if he dances here, I'll cue him. Like it seems like it's not hard to complete a 6 prime here, and he always has this problem of exposing another blot in the gaps, you know. So maybe I think I should have queued last turn, to be honest. Like it's not, I don't know, is this 100% a take? Given all the problems he has, I don't know. I'll give him some bad deuces. Not this. Like 5-2, for instance, I was thinking. So I don't know, do I hit him here? Slot the back of the prime also. So he should be redoubling me to 8. I think he just kind of forgot. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I can't imagine I'm passing this. So I pass and go to a 4-1 Crawford. We're a pretty big underdog. All right. Well, it's an interesting match anyways. Yeah, I think my take point's 18.5 there, right? Yeah, so I definitely have it. I mean, you could argue I'm close to a favorite. Oh, we got him. Five. Nice. Okay, let's give him some bad deuces. I'm gonna just sort of rush this guy forward because I think I want to hit him as soon as I can here. So you try to roll this prime forward. Huh. Yeah, it seemed like maybe that's not good. Maybe like the initial double, that's like not good enough. Well, yeah, we'll see what the computer says. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a rollout. I don't know. Okay. Okay. If he anchors somewhere, I don't mind him actually anchoring on the 2 because it'll be easier to like trap him off that point later than if he's anchored on the 1. So I kind of like the rule that made the 1 there. Want to remain a little diverse, meaning don't put 2 checkers on the same point there. I should be looking pretty good here. So mostly I'm going to play safely, although I guess I got to worry a little bit about the race. Like safest is this, right? I'm not sure how that compares to bearing a guy off. Like 6-6, for instance, like he's doing okay. Although this is a lot of blot numbers, and 5-5 is still pretty good. So I'm going to do this. So it's possible I should have been a little more aggressive there. Okay, let's go to XG mode. Okay, yeah, so GNU says I played a 6.8, which I don't think is right. Let's see what XG said. Unless that is like too good or something, I don't know. Let's take a look though. Yes, okay. Okay, Z's on the bottom, Peter's on the top. No, XG kind of agrees with GNU. Like I said, okay, it says my double is bad. And I made a bunch of checker play blunders. Yeah, I don't think my double is actually going to be bad. Rollout's going to bring it up, I believe. But let's go through it. Okay, so game one was the boring game. Okay, bar 22, 6 to 5 instead of making the 7. Yeah, I guess I did think about this. I mean, it seems to me like 8 to 7 is like an upgrade here. But I notice the computer like often doesn't think so. Or maybe it thinks it's a little bit of an upgrade, but it wants to, you know, it wants to diversify and it wants to split to the 22 instead of the 23. So I guess the computer's saying it's more of an upgrade to do this, which I can kind of buy. Especially because the 6 is, okay, so like one problem with this is the 6's jump, 6's run, but they're all duplicated with good point making numbers. So I guess I can kind of see what the computer's thinking there. Okay, yeah. So I guess the thing you really don't want to do is this, which actually was my first impulse, but I was thinking, then I thought, okay, just enters and I'm probably winning, but not by a lot, right? I do like this or something. He dances, I can cube him right away. He enters 1, I got a pretty solid edge. So that sort of made things come into focus. Yeah, I don't have quite enough here. Oh yeah, this is a pretty big blunder. Yeah, so it's probably some cubeful thing going on. Okay, so cubeless is 387 versus 593. No, it's a big blunder. Cubeless also. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this does keep him from anchoring. I guess maybe the idea is he just enters 1 and I get a good cube in anyways, you know. Here often he enters especially with a 2, I don't have anything. Maybe I don't have much if he rolls like a 3-6 or something. Yeah. Yeah, definitely keeping him from anchor is definitely a big deal here. I thought escaping the guy would be a big deal too, but I guess it's not as important. Also, you do this, you're still shooting at this guy. I mean, this doesn't shock me that my play is a big blunder, but I'm a little surprised that it's this big a deal. I don't know, you guys consider this sort of obvious? Making the 2 here? This is the original position. I feel like most players are getting this right pretty easily. But I thought like escaping would be kind of a decent, escaping the backman. The last backman is kind of a big deal. But similar to like the previous play, if you think about it in terms of like the stuff that gives you a good cue, maybe it can come into focus a little better. Like, in fact, dance, you make the computers play. It's like maybe it's arguably too good on the dances. And you know, I guess you are cashing unless he enters with 2 checkers, or at least doubling. Yeah, maybe that's the way to think about it. Like I'm blitzing, obviously, so making the interboard point is a BFD, you know. Okay. More important than escaping the guy. But anyways, luckily he does dance, and I find the double. He finds the pass. Good. Okay, this gets a little silly. So this is fine, making the 3rd anchor. Yeah, this is fine. Get to make my 5 a lot of the time, but if I get hit, it's no big deal, since I got 3 anchors. His play seemed good here, although no, here wants to make the 5. So probably the computer's going to want to make the 5 with a lot of his plays, maybe. Yeah, like once again here, you know, obviously it's fine if I get hits. I already got 3 anchors. It might improve my back game timing. If I get missed, I get to build these points nicely. So I like this play. You could also just do this, similar stuff. Yeah, hitting. The computer likes his hit play, so he doesn't let me build. Oh, it's cute. Okay, so it kind of makes up. So the computer's plays like a little zany, right? Hitting and slotting the 5, but actually the opponent finds like a similar idea, hitting and sort of slotting the 5 while I have 2 men on the roof. But somehow the computer wants to give up the 7 to do it. I don't know. Maybe it's just thinking it's better to hit in the outfield than in the inner board here. You know, give me less timing later. But it does seem the computer's choice does seem a little weird to give up the nice 7 point here. Rather give up the 11, you know. Computer might be wrong here. Like here, I probably would have been tempted to make the 5. That is what the computer does, but I guess it is paying just some hits here. So that the opponent finds a decent play too. It usually still gets to make the 5. One nice thing about the opponent's play is you'd really like to make it with an ace, you know, as opposed to 6, 3, or 2. Because then you have more checkers in the outfield to maybe make the 9 and the 8. Although maybe that's not a huge deal here, because it's going to be a little tough for him to break my timing. Okay, I would have cleared from the back here, but apparently everything is fine. Including leaving a shot. Because maybe I'm just not hitting him if I can, you know. Waiting to build up more of a structure before going for it. Oh, hey Salsa guy, how you doing? Yeah, did you watch this match? This match was this game was kind of crazy. Look at the structure. It's rare you get to play this type of game these days. Apparently, I didn't play it that well, but I think we're gonna get to a couple of checker play blunders apparently. Because I think in game 1, I think I just made the 1 blunder. And then so this game should have 2 and a checker play blunder, which I think the computer's a little wrong about. Yeah, it's not gonna like my cube, but I think it's at least okay. Oh yeah, I actually just got back from Home Depot too. I'm doing some work on my bathroom. Oh hey Paul, good to see you. All right. Anyways. So I wonder, let's say he leaves a shot here. I'm definitely not hitting him with 5s. Like even a 5, 6. Well, yeah, I'm not hitting him with like 5s. I'm wondering if the computer does want to hit with like 3s and 6s here because I get to keep the 3 anchors. It just seems like kind of premature. So we can take a look at that, see what the computer does. And it's not necessarily right. I don't know if the computer plays this that well. But his judgment is probably better than mine anyways. Oh yeah. I'm not super handy, but I can do like little stuff, like I'm recocking around the toilet. That's about my limit. Okay, so yeah, what I was thinking was, let's say you do this, which the computer doesn't mind. Like, you don't hit with the 5-2 here. I'm quite confident. That's way premature to give up the 3rd anchor to hit here. You have such a good game if you just keep all 3 anchors and slowly build up your board. Right. I think it'd be like a pretty big blunder to give up that 3rd anchor to hit. It's not even on. There it is. Yeah, I think this is like a 0.6 blunder or something to hit with the 5. So do you hit with like a 6-2 here though, or 6? Let's say 6. Let's say 6-4. So you can hit and play a productive 4 somewhere. I don't think you do. It's not terrible because you get to keep all 3 anchors and maybe you can make like a little bit of a block and make white crack a little on his side of the board. But I'm kind of thinking like in that case, we want to take more of a slower approach. Build up more of an offensive position first and then hit later, because you're just going to get plenty of shots later. Let's see what the computer does. Yeah, the computer hits, but it's not terrible to do this. I'll leave it. I mean, the rollout might change his mind, but I'll leave that as an exercise for the watcher. So let's go back. Okay, so yeah, it makes a pretty reasonable 2-1 play. I think I see the I instinctively would have cleared the 9 points. Not like this. I'm gonna play like honestly, I might have played 9 to 8, 9 to 7, which the computer does not like. I guess maybe end up with a bunch of checkers on the 3-point here. Yeah, it's a little harder. Yeah, the opponent's play gets great spares on the 6 and the 5 here. So I guess I can see it. Strips the out. He's gonna be able to clear the outfield points much more easily after this, where the spares are out here, and you don't get a spare on the 5. Yeah. I mean, you could be right. The computer could be wrong here, and it doesn't think it's like crazy. It doesn't think it's crazy wrong. So yeah, it would be an okay plan. Okay, but anyways, he makes a good 2-1 play. 5-3. Okay. I don't know why. Well, okay, fine. Yeah, the computer wants to build. A nice little 3'. I go after the 5-point, which is okay. Given that I'm probably not going to be hitting him next turn, my plan seems okay. Yeah, once again, he can leave a shot if he wants for extra flexibility, versus just clearing safely. Again, not totally clear on what I should be hitting with. Okay, so I build up a little bit of a position. Computer does want to play 24 to 23 with the back one, but it's no big deal. Slightly bigger deal on the higher Ravel for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to vacate either of these points for a while. So I don't see what the deal is. Once again, I'd probably hit him with 6s here. Probably not 4s though. Like 6-3. Yeah, 6-3 you definitely hit. Oh, 4-1 you definitely hit also. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I guess is the idea behind hitting with a 4-1 is when things go wrong, you still have a good ace-deuce game. I think that's what's going on. Yeah, actually, maybe if I looked at this, I'd be able to find it, maybe. Because, say you don't hit. Well, it's still like a pretty decent game, but he will get to bear off a bunch of guys before leaving another shot, usually. Yeah, this is tricky. Yeah, in fact, you could even make a third anchor here if you get hit again. Or if you don't, you can roll a 2 and make the third anchor anyways. So I guess that's the key to seeing it. Like your game is sort of fine here. Even when it doesn't work, you still have a decent ace-deuce game. And now, see you have a pretty decent, you have an okay front position now. Okay, yeah, this stuff is not obvious to me, obviously. All right, but let's push forward. Yeah, some part of the problem is just like this stuff is like very unfamiliar because like you hardly ever see it again these days. I think it used to be more common back in like the 80s, early 90s. People used to play like a lot more purely, and used to end up in like these big back games more often because they get more guys hits. But yeah, you don't with the computers nowadays. People don't play so purely. Like they used to not worry too much about getting hits. They used to put checkers where they belong on their home fronts, which would often result in getting a bunch of guys sent back. Okay, but anyways, luckily I missed because I would have blundered probably sometimes. Okay, this isn't even good enough. At the time, like I wasn't totally sure what was going on. Later it came into focus though because like a position like this came up, right? And then it's like, oh, if he just makes the 4 points, say, I got like this decently timed ace deuce game, with three points in front of it to clear, not a lot of checkers off. I thought, oh, I have a take here, right? And he rolled like pretty okay. He got like a pretty okay sequences to get to this point. Like I missed him once, So while this wasn't clear, if I had thought about, okay, if I give up the 4 point at some point, and even when he rolls well, still looks kind of takeable. Yeah, I would have been able to find this easily. Yeah, exactly. Maybe remake the 21-point anchor after hitting with the 4. You're saying, yeah, that makes sense. So here, this is pretty important to vacate the 21 here because I want to give him bad aces, right? You want to look in positions like this where you're playing a backgammon. You want to look for your opponent's bad numbers. If like here, like say I keep all 3 anchors, which I think would be the choice of some players, doesn't have any bad numbers. You make a play like mine. Most of his aces are bad, right? 6-1, 5-1, 4-1's okay, but 3-1 and 2-1 are bad. Yeah. The score, right? Yeah, score could have a little bit of an effect here. Although I think for money it wouldn't be a cube either. But yeah, the score maybe makes it a little trickier, right? Like it's such a huge no double. Maybe it's okay in practice. I don't know. Maybe some people are passing that. But it's such a huge no double. I don't think the score is going to swing the decision. But you're right. It could affect how big of an error it is. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So I get rewarded. He rolls a bad ace. I miss him. Now here I can give him bad 3s if I want by completely vacating the 23. But there I don't think that's right because it makes his aces better. Like say you do this. Now he gets to hit me off the 2-point with aces. It's like I no longer have this like ace deuce game, and as fewer shots. Right, I make like my play for instance. I get a full double shot on 6-1. But yeah, mainly I think you just want the two. You want to keep the 2 anchors for now, unless like you're giving them a lot more bad numbers, which you didn't have otherwise. That more frequently comes up. That more frequently comes up with like a 1-3 back game. I've seen this many times. How does it work? Yeah, like here. You roll like a 6-1 here. I've seen people like give up the 24-point anchor to give white bad 3s, like 6-3, 5-3, 4-3. But see how it makes the ones a lot better. Like I only get a single shot on ones because he gets to hit me off the ace point now, and I've given up that long term anchor. Whereas if I keep it, he rolls 6-1. He has to hit me off the 22. I get to keep the anchor, and I get kind of a double shot at him. So I've seen this error before. In other words, you do not want to give up the back anchor here by a lot, Yeah, they're tough. They're tough. a lot of little nuances. When to hit, when to give him bad numbers. Sometimes you got to worry about the backgammon a little bit. So yeah, and it takes, like, you don't get a lot of practice doing them either. So it's good you guys are watching. You get to see my mistakes and maybe not make them in the future. All right, so yeah, so I vacate from the front correctly. I miss. I keep both anchors for now. He just has bad aces. I do get to hit him. Yeah, so no double here, but I think actually this is a lot stronger, but than this. Yeah, here I do cube. Somehow I'm worse because he's in. Now this might be an error to cube, but it's not this big of an error to cube. This is a containment position. In other words, I hit late in the game. I'm trying to contain this back checker. The computers, both GNU and XG and Snowy, when Snowy was being used, they all underestimate how easy it is to contain that back checker, especially when there's a possibility of other checkers floating around. So while this may not be a redouble, it's quite a bit closer than the computer thinks. The rollout should get you closer. In my mind, the rollout's a little suspect too, but it's going to be a lot more reliable than even a plus evaluation, you know. So you got to kind of roll these. You got to roll these containment positions out. No law against deliberate practice. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, you can just set up. You can set up this game in XG and just play against XG, you know. Yeah. Oh, in fact, it did roll out. It did roll out to be a double. See that? It's not even a huge take. So yeah, if you've never seen this, in fact, I missed a double the turn before. It's possible it was a pass the turn before, actually. Given how much it came up in the, given how much it came up when I did double it. Somehow the computer's like off here. The computer's like off in the next position, but not off in this position by that much. I mean, it's off by quite a bit, but it doesn't think this is like a huge double for some reason. I don't know. Computer just kind of stinks at evaluating this stuff. Yeah, it's mainly because of this problem, this containment problem. Like backgames result in containment positions a lot. The computer doesn't understand how easy it is to contain a checker after it hits. And so it's going to underestimate back games sometimes, a lot of the time. So you got to, like I said, you got to roll this stuff out. No, I didn't. No, I don't watch. I mean, I stream a lot, but I don't watch a lot. I don't watch a lot of backgammon streams, believe it or not. Yeah, so this was sort of marginal on the double no double apparently. Yeah. So yeah, so I probably did miss a small cube. This cube is correct, even though the computer hated it at the plus eval. He's not even a huge take. Oh, it doesn't like, wait, what did I do wrong here? 23 to 17. Oh, it wants to keep the anchor. Oh, I was looking at this wrong. Oh yeah, I see where I was going wrong here. I wanted to give him bad numbers that expose another checker, expose a second checker. Well, my play doesn't do it though, right? I did this thinking he might have some twos that hit me off the ace point, and then I get to hit another checker. I don't have any of those because he's always stepping up with a two, like 4-2 for instance. And like, okay, 2-1 exposes a blot, but it exposes a blot after the right play anyways. Meanwhile, my play pays to double twos. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, I don't know why I thought he did. Yeah, you got to be careful about this stuff, I guess. Huh. Yeah, same with aces. Only like 2-1 is bad, really. But it's bad here, too. Yeah, that was bad. Yeah, paying to one, maybe paying to 1-1 a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, that's another bad thing about my play. I'm not, I'm getting worse builders for the back of the prime. Slightly worse builders, you know. Like the computers play guess this guy a little closer to the 9. But you're absolutely right. The right strategy here is to slot the back of the prime. Unless maybe he steps up, you know. Yeah, computer does not want to hit here. I thought maybe trying to contain the back checker like this, when he only has a 1-point board. I did see this possibility. Great outfield control, but gives him a free shot at like 6s to make it most of the way home, you know, especially the hitting 6s. I don't know. I suspect the computer's correct here, but let's do a quick rollout, you know. Yeah, I'm certainly wrong here. I wonder if I had more guys in the zone, it would be right to go after him. I always have trouble with this play. Like sometimes it is right to break your 5' to hit when you're trying to contain the back checker. And sometimes it's like way wrong, you know. And here it's way wrong. Like I don't know. Well, here you obviously hit because you get to keep your hit and keep your 5'. Here, I guess I'm wrong also. You'd be wrong to hit, but maybe it's closer? No. Yeah, where's 8 to 3 here? The 8 to 3 is like really wrong here, apparently. No, actually on appeal, it's not that wrong. Huh. 3-point board is easier to enter if 75% enter. I see. Yeah, but he says to like enter and jump, you know? Okay, so actually, yeah, here, so for instance, here is probably right to hit. So the difference, or at least is close, right? So like what I did was I took this guy from the backfield somewhere and put him here. So here you have like more checkers in the zone ready to remake the 5', and fewer checkers in the outfield to cover the outfield. And here it actually doesn't want to give up the 5' to hit. It was so thin. I think during the match position, it was like so thin to hit. It's a little hard to make progress when it works. That the computer wants to take like a slower sort of outfield control approach. So if you need the tempo, oh right, yeah, that is often a big factor, Rob. I've noticed, where like you break your 5' to hit when like these white's threatening to do good stuff on the other side of the board. So that's often a big factor. Yeah, here. In fact, here you leave him alone. He does have some bad 1s and 2s. Right, you make the computers play. Say you do this, you know, 5-1, 5-2, for instance. Expose another blot. So you kind of want him playing. You kind of want him playing on the other side of the board. Yeah, a lot going on there. Yeah, this was the redouble. This actually corrects. This was sort of an oversight on the 2s and 1s, and this you leave him alone to cover the outfield and to give him bad 1s and 2s. That was a series of well, this wasn't actually a blunder, but yeah, these 2 checker plays were blunders. Yeah, good lesson, good reminder. Anyways, it does work. I put stuff together. Yeah, he should be redoubling, but maybe it's no big deal. Okay, yeah, I should redouble this because he can lose his market if he rolls like 6-6 or whatever. Yeah, that's I sort of overemphasize that factor. And in fact, my play kind of gives him some bad aces, and like 3-2 is sort of bad for him after my play. But yeah, there's more bad numbers the other way. But yeah, I was sort of over focused on not giving him a 6 to get out of there. Anyways, I roll this tremendous. I'm kind of dead, but I roll this tremendous 6-3, and then it goes pretty smoothly from there. Yeah, this is sort of a key play. And now you definitely want to break your prime to hit so as not to let him anchor on the 3. Yeah, I like this roll, making the ace. Yeah, like I said, if he anchors on the deuce, I do kind of like the fact that it's easy for me to trap him off the points. So you end up with something like this. Right, he has to leave the anchor with 5s and 6s, and then I get to attack and hopefully close out 2 checkers. So that's easier. That's easier if he's anchored on the deuce than on the ace, where he only has 6s out. So it's almost like the 1 point's like better to make than the 2 point there. But I get the closeout, and then I play a little gingerly. Maybe I should be like a little more aggressive, like with this play. Right, he's got 2 guys closed out, so I wasn't like super worried about the raise. So I was like, okay, well, let's just play super save 0 blot numbers on the next roll. Apparently the computer does this, leaving 6655 as blot numbers. But the board's so weak that you're not paying full price to those, you know. And it takes him out of the race. I mean, I sort of started getting the picture a turn later, when like I have this play, which I do play correctly, but I'm thinking, okay, so I do this, he rolls 6-6 and he's like winning, right? So it's not like the race is like gin or anything. So that sort of made me regret like not bearing a checker off with the 5-3, and then 2-1. I got sort of a clear 2-1. I did again. So I started getting the picture. I said, "Oh well, maybe this is okay now." 7 blot numbers though, right? 6-1, 5-1, which count as 2 because non-doubles happen twice as often as doubles. A specific non-double like 6-1 happens twice as often as a specific double like 6-6. So you count the non-doubles as 2. Yeah. So that would have been like super clear to me if you only had 1 on the roof. And I would have taken all sorts of risk to bear off quickly if he had 1 on the roof. But because I had 2 on the roof, like I wasn't like totally sure like how bad the race was. But like for instance, like here, if he has 1 on the roof, you definitely don't clear the 6. You know, that would have been like super duper clear to me. Because you're not up in the race that much here. So you got to worry a lot more about the race than getting hit. Although apparently here it's still pretty close with the 7 blot numbers here, right? 3 big doubles and 4 other numbers, 6-1, 5-1. And I think that was the last decision. Basically, yeah. And then I win. So actually, how I actually did it? So I took away the checker the cue blunder, which actually wasn't a blunder. Still played. No, I did not take it away. Oh yeah, one cue trick with XG. I mean, obviously you can roll stuff out, but say you know the double's okay here. You can actually right click on the checker on the play. I know you don't see the little pop-up menu, but you can right click. You can clear analyze. Go back to summary, and you can see, okay, if you don't count that error, what's my PR? So it dropped from like 6 something to 4 something. So he needs 6 crossovers once he gets in, right? And then do 8 rolls minimum for him to start taking off again. Right. So he's got eight. Yeah, he's got eight crossovers to Baron. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. So you're saying like here, the closeout. He's got he sort of has eight crossovers, right? For each one of these checkers, one, two, three, four to get back home, and then he has nine more crossovers to bear off, to bear everyone off. So it's kind of like he has 17 crossovers to bear everyone off here. Plus he's going to dance a lot. So that implies I'm like well up in the race, and I don't have to worry about safety. I don't have to worry about speed that much. But yeah, and on the other hand, like getting hit's not like a huge deal, especially with the 5-3 play. Like I bear a guy off here, I roll 6-6 and I get hit because of it. I'm still like pretty big favorite, especially if I get hit while he still has one up on the roof. So, one idea is I don't have to worry about the race very much because he's got a million crossovers. The other idea is I don't have to worry about getting hit too much because I still win if I get hit a lot. So it's a little tricky, I think. Sometimes people use that stuff. I'm not recommending against it, but I don't think it's a super healthy way to like think about how well you play. Like you could say, oh, okay, so I could say, oh, I just overlooked the right idea here. I kind of understand this. Like I thought I was giving him bad twos, so I'm not going to count this one. I'm going to say, and then I'm going to say, oh, let's clear this and look at what my PR actually is. Oh, I played a 3, and you make yourself feel better. But I don't think that's a really helpful way to think about. I don't think that's a really healthy way to think about it. Like you made the error, you should think about it objectively, saying, okay, that actually did count against my PR. So I feel like comfortable saying, oh, I played a 4 here as opposed to a 3 or whatever. Yeah, that's a good figure to know. The average roll is 8 pips. It comes up sometimes. All right, guys. Well, yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for chatting. This was fun. Yeah, good comments, everyone. And I'm going to sign off now. But yeah, hope you got something out of it. And I will see you next time.